I'm in Troy, New York at the studio of clothing designer and seamstress Maura Marks, who makes these really fun and bright shirts out of vintage fabrics. Let's go.
I let myself believe you really love me.
For a long time, I was just doing a job that didn't really explore any of my creative energy. And for a while, I was okay with that. I went to my office job, I did marketing, and I always knew something was missing, but I didn't know what it was, and I certainly didn't think it was sewing. When I started making shirts, all I wanted to do was find more fabric and do it again the next day. I always learned little sewing tips and tricks from my mother growing up. She would sew our prom dresses, my sister and I, and she made my wedding dress. So I would kind of look over her shoulder while she's sewing things, and she showed me how. So I've always had that in the back of my pocket, this skill that I haven't really used. Up until about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I really started making things. I went to this amazing David Bowie exhibit in Brooklyn. All of his costumes were out on display, and you could walk right up to them. I mean, they were behind glass, but it was so inspirational, and I just got so excited because I was like, if I bought the right fabric, I could make something fabulous like this. I could make it for myself, I could make it for friends. I started digging through my storage of sewing patterns, and I started looking out for more fabric that I liked, and I really just got into it. Well, I really like fun, bright colors. I only use vintage fabrics because the patterns that I find are just so much better than what I can find now. Like if I went to a big box fabric store, I couldn't find anything remotely interesting. But if you start digging through, your grandmother's attic or an estate sale, somebody's sewing room, you really start to find fun, bright florals and Hawaiian patterns and stripes and polka dots. I just love all that stuff, so I try to incorporate that into my pieces. Weird Al is obviously a fashion hero. He wears great shirts and is a lot of fun and is a great musician, so I've been a fan for a while. When my husband and I got tickets to see Weird Al at the Egg in Albany not too long ago, I was just like, oh, what shirt are we both gonna wear? Like, I can make you something. And my husband suggested, why don't you make a shirt to give to Weird Al? And I was just like, yeah, why not? I got to work, I made the perfect shirt. I spent a lot of time really matching up the pattern. The next challenge was, how do I get it to him? He probably gets a lot of stuff from fans, and I don't want it to go in the trash or just get forgotten about. So I have some connections with the city of Albany, and I got a hold of a bigwig at the Egg who really helped me out. I met up with him a few days before the show, and I handed him the package. I was just like, wow, I really hope that got to him, and I really hope it's not just sitting on the Egg manager's desk right now. And then he came out on stage and he was wearing it. He was wearing my shirt. And I just got really emotional, like I'm doing right now. Because I didn't expect that at all. That was like blue sky dreaming that he would actually put it on. I was just hoping he would get it and see it and be like, oh, cool, like I own this shirt. But he wore it on stage and he wore it for the whole show. It was really like my claim to fame for like a month. I was very popular on Instagram, which isn't always the case, but that was a really, really good feeling. I feel weird when I go a week and I don't sew anything. Like I was on a trip and I didn't do anything, and I'm just like, oh, what do I have to do? I have to get back to making the shirts. And I guess I haven't really had that excitement in any of my professional careers up until this point. So I think it's finally a feeling that I want to go to work every morning. I'm excited about it every day.